Imagine winning a free trip to Fiji. 5-star resort. Everything paid for. You don't remember entering. First night, a stranger offers you a game. 8 questions. Tell the truth. Win $250,000. You say yes. Well, you don't know. He's been watching you for years. He knows the worst thing you've ever done. And this game was built for you. This isn't a game show. It's a reckoning. Vivaan and Sia still say, I love you. But it sounds rehearsed. 5 years of marriage. Maxed out credit cards. A job Vivaan just lost and hasn't told anyone about yet. They're the kind of couple that's still together because leaving feels harder than staying. Then one morning, an email. They want a trip, fully paid. 5-star resort in Fiji. They didn't enter any contest. They don't remember signing up for anything. But Vivaan looks at their bank statement and then at the email. And he books the flights before Sia finishes reading it. Fiji is 5,000 miles from home. No friends who know exactly where they're staying. No family they could realistically call for help. If something went wrong here, truly wrong, how long before anyone noticed? The resort is stunning. The kind of place that makes you feel chosen. And that feeling, that specific feeling of being chosen, is exactly what someone is counting on. His name is Mr. Abdul Razak Khan. He's already at their table when they arrive for dinner. Smiling, like he knew they'd come. He tells them he arranged the trip, that he's a fan of interesting people, that he'd like to offer them an opportunity. A game show, live, just for them. 8 questions, a task after each one. Answer honestly, complete the task. Win enough money to pay off every debt, quit every job they hate, never lie awake calculating bills again. Enough money to become the people they pretended to be on their wedding day. One condition, you cannot lie. He slides 2 devices across the table, attaches one to each of their wrists. Lie detectors, he says. And if you lie, he smiles. You die. Vivaan looks at Sia. Sia looks at the devices on their wrists. Then at the number Mr. Khan wrote on the napkin. They agree to play. The first question is almost gentle. Have you ever stolen something? Vivaan laughs. Nervously. Says yes. Chocolate from a shop. Age 9. The device on his wrist doesn't beep. The task is minor. Humiliating, but survivable. He does it. Sia watches. They both exhale. Maybe this won't be so bad. Second question. Third question. Each one peeling back another layer. And then Mr. Khan looks at Vivaan and asks, did you manipulate Sia into falling in love with you? The room goes very still. Vivaan's jaw tightens. The device on his wrist starts to vibrate. He answers, yes. Sia doesn't say anything. She just looks at him, the way people look at someone they thought they knew. Mr. Khan makes a small note, says nothing, moves on. Fourth question. This one is for Sia. Have you ever been intimate with someone to protect your career? The silence that follows is different from all the other silences. Thicker, heavier. Sia answers, yes. Vivaan's head turns slowly. His hands are flat on the table. Then he stands up. He doesn't leave. He can't leave. He just stands there for a moment, breathing, and then he slaps her. Right there, in front of Mr. Khan, in front of the cameras, with nowhere to hide and no way to take it back. Mr. Khan watches, writes another note, smiles just slightly, because this, exactly this, is what he came for. By question 5, something has shifted. It's not a game show anymore. It's a confession booth that locked its doors. The tasks are no longer humiliating. They're disturbing. Force-fed something that makes both of them gag. Vivaan throws up afterward. Sia can't look at the table. Question 6. They're made to stand in front of strangers. Told to confess something they've never said out loud. Vivaan's hands are shaking. He's used to being the most powerful person in the room. He is not the most powerful person in this room. Sia whispers to him during a break. We have to stop. Something is wrong. This isn't normal. Vivaan looks at the number on the napkin. Still in his pocket. Still real. One more question, he says. That's what he said 3 questions ago. Question 7. Mr. Khan leans forward for the first time. When you were in college, he says quietly. Was there someone you hurt? Someone who couldn't defend himself? Vivaan's face changes. Not much, just slightly. But Mr. Khan catches it. He always catches it. Yes, Vivaan says. The device stays silent. Mr. Khan nods slowly. Good, he says. Then we're ready for the last question. The final question has already been answered, Mr. Khan says. You answered it just now. The task remains. Vivaan is led down a hallway. Long, quiet. No windows. Into a room. There's a person inside, sitting in a chair. Head down. Completely still. A weapon is placed in Vivaan's hand. The instruction is simple. Kill him. Vivaan steps back. No, I'm not doing this. The person in the chair slowly raises their head. Vivaan's hands start shaking. He knows this face. From college. A boy named Akram. An entire game, every question, every task, every carefully placed word, collapses into a single, terrible moment of clarity. He knows exactly why he's here. Let's go back to college. Akram arrived his first week with a worn notebook. Engineering sketches. Ideas he'd been developing since he was 12. He called his father every Sunday. First-generation college student. The family's great hope. By the end of week 2, before Akram had spoken to barely anyone, people were already laughing when he walked into a room. He didn't know why. No one told him. That was the point. Vivaan had spent those 2 weeks quietly, methodically, working the campus social network. A word here, a joke there. Nothing you could point to, nothing you could report. Just, have you met the new guy? Something's off about him. Repeated enough times. To enough people. Before Akram had a single friend to defend him. This is social engineering. Not the dramatic kind. The quiet kind. The kind that works because it's invisible. Then came isolation. A student started sitting with Akram at lunch. 2 days later, Vivaan mentioned something to that student in passing. The student stopped sitting with Akram. Another student tried to partner with him on a project. Vivaan laughed about it at a party that weekend. The partnership dissolved Monday morning. Every time someone reached toward Akram, Vivaan made the social cost clear. Not with threats, with reputation, with the quiet withdrawal of approval that popular people weaponize, without ever raising their voice. By the time the physical hazing began, Akram had no one. That was by design. They forced him to eat food that violated his beliefs, stripped him, shaved his head, filmed it, circulated it to the same campus, already primed to see him as less than. When Akram went to the principal, the one person supposed to help, Vivaan found out before the meeting was over. Akram walked out without anyone believing him. The notebook sat unopened after that. The Sunday call stopped. Akram's father would call the college eventually. How is my son doing? He's adjusting, someone said. He wasn't adjusting. He was disappearing. And Vivaan graduated, fell in love, built a life. Never once asked what happened to the quiet boy with a notebook. Mr. Khan walks into the room. He looks at the boy in the chair, the way a father looks at a son. Vivaan's knees buckle slightly, because now he understands everything, all of it, at once. The trip, the game, the questions that weren't random, the tasks that felt oddly specific, the food, the public humiliation, the isolation. They were recreations. Every single thing Vivaan put Akram through. Mr. Khan put them through a version of it. Controlled, calculated, precisely measured. So they would feel it. Not all of it. Not even close to all of it. Just enough to understand what they did. I could have had you killed on the first day, Mr. Khan says. But you would never have understood what my son went through. He looks at Akram in the chair. Then back at Vivaan. Now you do. You're free to go. But your sins will follow you. Everywhere. Forever. Vivaan and Sia walk out. Technically free. They don't speak on the way to the airport. Don't speak on the flight home. There's nothing to say. That doesn't make it worse. The film's title, Table Number 21, is named after Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, the right to life and personal liberty. Think of it as India's version of what your 5th and 14th Amendments protect. The fundamental guarantee that no one can strip you of your dignity without consequence. Akram's right was violated. In a hallway, in a cafeteria, in a principal's office where no one believed him, with a notebook that never got open again. Here's the irony the film leaves you with. Mr. Khan is guilty of kidnapping. Vivaan and Sia are guilty of destroying a human being. Only one of those has a law against it. Mr. Khan lured them 5,000 miles from home. No way out. No one to call. In other words, he gave them exactly what they gave his son. They walk away free. But for the first time in their lives, they see themselves clearly. And maybe that's the punishment. Not a cell, not a sentence, just the truth about who they are. Permanently, inescapably. So tell me, was Mr. Khan right? Because the more I think about it, the harder it is to say no.